Are we ready? Good evening. Thank you all for coming. I visited Gloria and Fabio this afternoon, and I said, we were talking about the weather, and I said, what kind of weather did Ashley like? And Gloria said, hot and tropical. So, Ashley, we have the weather for you today. May not be humid, but it's certainly hot. Thank you all for coming this evening. My name is Nirup Srivatsa, and I'm the Lafayette City Manager. We are here today to honor Ashley, to remember Ashley and what he has done for our community. And I am going to be introducing many of the speakers today. And I'd like to call Mayor Teresa Geringer to the podium. Mayor Geringer helped the family design the plaque and select a location for it. Mayor?
Thank you. Is Trevor here? Yeah, Trevor.
So I, first of all, just want to say how lovely it is to see everyone who has come out with the Diaz family. And I want to thank the Diaz family for inviting all of us to join them as they're coming up on the anniversary of Ashley's heroic and courageous actions that we're here to memorialize today, and for them inviting us to be here and be part of that, and for all of you coming out and continuing to support the family. I do want to thank each of you on behalf of the city, and a number of my colleagues on the council are here today behind me, and the city staff for inviting us to be part of this and for allowing us to be a part of your journey. And I know that Ashley was very, I said I wasn't going to cry, and I have my notes here, but we're all going to get through this. So I do want to just thank you for having us be part of the journey and finding just the right way, the most meaningful way that we could symbolically and actually memorialize Ashley. We all know that on September 8th, Ashley was a crossing guard, and Ashley's actions that day put himself in between danger and the students, sacrificing his life for while saving 3 students. And so forever being a blessing to the families that day, to the community, but sacrificing and being a loss for the Diaz family. And so Gloria, Fabio, Trevor, Vanessa, and Angelique, I know we just met, but I know who you were. I want to thank you for working with the city, for allowing us to partner on this memorial that in just a few moments you'll be unveiling, and for working with the school district. And in just a few minutes, Betsy Belmont is going to speak. But I know that as a son, as a brother, as a uncle and godfather, that Ashley was just such a key part of your life and your heart and your soul. And I know that most of us here can only imagine the loss that you experienced that day and continue to experience. But I want to personally thank you for showing all of us, through your strength and your grace, how to forgive, how to celebrate his life, his Sullies, and how to have this memorial plaque not just be a remembrance of the sacrifice that he and all of you have made, but also a reminder to all of us that we need to slow down, that we need to take the time to get to where we need to go, that we need to look out for one another and to keep our community and our children safe. And so that's the piece that I took a new card today because mine's kind of wrinkled, but I do have this card from the Celebration of Life last year, and as I work on the city council with my colleagues and with the residents, I keep this as a reminder of how important the decisions we make each and every day are to our community. And so I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that my words are a fitting tribute to you and to Ashley.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. That's
Of course.
And I know,
Don't miss any of them.
and I know that just a little bit ago, at 6 o'clock, the Diaz family also worked with the school district to partner on a memorial plaque there. And so it's my honor to welcome Betsy Belmont over to share a few words on behalf of the school district.
Thank you very much. I am Betsy Balmat, and I am honored to speak tonight on behalf of everyone at Stanley and everyone in our district. Ashley touched the lives of everyone, so these are my words tonight, but these are the words of everyone within our school community. So almost a year ago today, all of our lives were irreversibly impacted by the sudden and tragic loss of our crossing guard, our friend, Ashley Diaz. In this last year, even those of us who never met Ashley have come to know him for the kind and funny person he was, and through his death, our lives have been enriched by the legacy he left behind. I, for one, along with so many of you out there, will forever hold Ashley's lessons in my heart. I think of the community Ashley has created for us. We have broadened our circles and have come together as friends through the bond Ashley has left with us. This community now extends well beyond Stanley, through Lafayette, the Bay Area, across the country, and throughout the world. Ashley's family and friends, the crossing guard community, our local sports teams, we have all been brought together through Ashley and are all the better for this new bond. We have learned the importance of caring for one another. In times of grief, we not only shared hugs and condolences, but also shared laughter and music and had a proper celly, as he would have wanted us all to do. This memorial here and the one at Stanley will forever stand as a reminder for us to take care, to be present, and to please drive carefully. When you find the right moment, please stop by Stanley to also see the memorial to Ashley and remember all the good he has left us with. I invite you to look at the memorial over on the poster there. And I, again, along with everyone at the Stanley community and throughout our district, just can't say how grateful we are to this new bond that we have with your family, and are thrilled that Angelique is now a part of the Stanley Wildcat community. So thank you.
Thank you, Betsy.
So I was looking for Narup, but so now I do want to invite Narup back up in a moment, who is our city manager, for those of you who don't know, Narup Srivatsa, who also worked with the family and Mala Subramanian, the city attorney, to find the location and to do this. But without further ado, I want to invite the Diaz family to step over here, and we are going to unveil the plaque.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it good for this year?
Absolutely.
All right, sorry. I hope it doesn't blow away.
I'll make sure it does.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's up to you, yeah.
Sign makers.
Now I'm turning it back over to Naru. Oh, there we go. Shall we start? Okay, we'll give them a few minutes.
We're all going to have time later to look at the plaque and to spend time with the Diaz family. But now I want to introduce Ashley's mom, Gloria. She is one of the kindest, most compassionate people that I have met.
Thank you.
Gloria.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here this evening, especially on the Friday of a Labor Day weekend. The Diaz family really appreciates you coming. I was going to introduce my family to you, but I don't see it.
At least introduce me, okay?
Okay, my husband, Fabio. That's my husband, and that's Ashley's dad. Then Vanessa Diaz, Ashley's brother, Ashley's sister, Trevor Diaz, Ashley's brother, and Angelique Diaz-Vani. Angelique.
Come here.
Ashley's, my granddaughter and Ashley's niece. It's hard to believe that in less than a week, Thursday, September 8th, to be exact, will be a year since Ashley, our son, brother, uncle, cousin, and friend, so tragically passed away. That day, September 8th, is forever etched in our hearts, mind, and memory. That day, part of me died with Ashley. The last words that Ashley said to me on that fateful crossing guard date was, "Ma, see you in a bit." That bit never happened. I am still waiting for the doorbell to ring and to see Ashley walk in with this huge grin and contagious laughter. My daily mantra every day of every hour is, "Ashley, I miss you. I wish you were here." In the days following Ashley's death, I've seen the entire Lafayette community, together with the school, the church, law enforcement, and business communities, my family and my friends, Ashley's friends and their families, come together and embrace us with their hugs, words of love, compassion, kindness, floral arrangements, monetary contributions, and nutritional meals. The Diaz family would not have been able to cope without the care and support that they received. Thank you again. We have all gathered here today to witness the dual unveiling of Ashley's memorial plaque by the City of Lafayette and by the Stanley School, and to celebrate his gift of life on earth and the lives of the children he saved. For the City Plaque, I take this opportunity to thank Nirup Srivastava, the Lafayette City Manager, our Mayor, Teresa Jeringer, our City Attorney, Mala Subramanian, and Susan Iala, our Communication Analyst. The Mayor, Teresa, the Manager, Nirup, and the Attorney, Mala, first met with my family to discuss our wishes, and then later accompanied us to the plaza and were able to identify and find the correct spot for Ashley's memorial plaque. Thank you, guys. Nirup, thank you for spearheading the whole project and ensuring that it got complete in time for the first anniversary of Ashley's death. For the Stanley School plaque, our sincere thanks to Betsy Balmet, our principal and now Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum, who worked with me continuously to find a central location to place Ashley's plaque, which would also serve as a solemn reminder to drivers to please slow down and let our children and our community be safe. Thank you, Betsy. That's okay. I want to take this opportunity to thank my videographer, Aleksei, and Ford, the owner of Sideboard Cafe. They worked together to get me a hotspot so I could stream the event live to my family and friends overseas. Thanks, Aleksei. Thanks, Ford.
Bring it down. Bring it. Pass it on the table. Pass it on the podium.
It is my sincere hope that someday in the near future, the City of Lafayette will dedicate one day in September as Safety Awareness Day in memory of Ashley. Thank you all for being here with the Diaz family for Ashley's plaque unveiling Sally. Thank you.
So I'm told that Ashley took a lot of time taking care of Angelique. He was her god uncle. And here's Angelique to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Angelique Diaz-Vanny. Ashley Diaz was my uncle. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight. It means a lot to me and my family. Thank you to the Mayor, Teresa Gellinger, and the City Council and the City Manager, Nirup Srivastava, and her team, and for the ex-Stanley Middle School Principal, Betsy Balmat, for Ashley's memorial plaque. Let this plaque remind you to please slow down and keep our kids and our community safe at all times. No, I'm not done. Hold the clapping. I have this one quote I want to share with you tonight. We hear a lot of promises that things will get better. And look, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But what I think I have learned is whatever happens, keep moving, get through it. Choose to live, because even on the worst days, there are people who love you. There's new music waiting for you to hear, something you haven't seen before, that will blow your mind in the best way. 13 Reasons Why. Rest in paradise, Ashley. You will always be remembered as a hero from now on, and you will always be missed dearly. Once again, my name is Angelique Diaz-Vanny, and thank you all for being here this evening. Sorry. Thank you.
That was awesome. I'm going to invite 3 of Ashley's childhood friends and school friends to come up in this order: Kieran Gulla, Heather Anderson, and Phil Ho.
Hi, I'm Kieran. Just gonna set a timer, otherwise we'll be here all night. You'll thank me later.
We can't hear you.
Okay, you hear me? Okay, great. So I met Ashley in 5th grade, and I remember that the first thing I said to him was that he looked like Liza Minnelli because he had long eyelashes. And his response was, "Well, speak for yourself. You got some pretty long eyelashes yourself too, so it makes 2 of us." And right there, I knew we'd be lifelong friends. It was quick, and there was instant respect at that point. But from that point on, I just remember that Ashley was kind of my rock because, well, my mother had passed a year before, and I was kind of, even at that age, not sure where I kind of belonged. And when he came along, I belonged. Just what I needed. Thank you. I'm not gonna, no. So, I belonged, and some other unsavory types like Phil Ho came along, and we became a unit. Some referred to us as the 3 Musketeers, and then Pete Hayes came along as D'Artagnan, and it was a wild ride. But Diaz, he was special. He cared about people on him to a point which was to his own detriment. And it showed in his last actions. I'm not surprised that he's a hero. I'm not surprised that he did what he did. And in those moments, you kind of know who you are. I don't know if I would have made the same choice. I like to think that I would. I think that everybody thinks that. I think everybody believes that they would. I think with time, you would make the logical decision to do the right thing. But in a split second, it really shows you what a hero is, and he did it. And again, I'm not surprised. But it kills. It's agony to lose someone so special. That's it.
Good going.
Hold on a second. Between Gloria and Kieran, they're killing me over here. I'm Heather Anderson, and I've known Ashley since about age 12. It came after the Kieran 3 Musketeers pack. I was a little bit older, so he was like my naughty little friend that I would drive around because he didn't have a driver's license. And I love that Kieran covered a lot of stuff that I wanted to say, so I can like just ditto Kieran about not being surprised that he was a hero. But I wanted to share something personal because we all know he was heroic and he was selfless, but yes, the whole box. Maybe just what he was like as a friend, because I don't think he was like the classic martyr or saint, like that I always thought, like somebody who's gonna die for other people would be kind of, you know, more of a downer. I don't know, he just seemed to completely defy logic that that's what happened, because he didn't want to die at all. Life was just getting really great. He was traveling. Just hours before it happened, he made a trip to go up with 500 hot air balloons and had just booked the flight. So he was definitely not planning to die that day. And I know that in that moment, he just did what he needed to do and thought on the spot. But my anecdote, I think, is a really weird story. It shows what kind of friend he was, because he was like a vicious joker, fierce humor. He would always like dig and poke and make totally inappropriate jokes and like, rib you where it kind of goes a little too deep, but he would get you to laugh about things that you were a little embarrassed about, but it would kind of lighten the darkness. And Kieran and I were talking about this last year because one of my favorite Ashley anecdotes is that when I was 17, I had an incident where I lost 4 front teeth and they were spaced out like a jack-o'-lantern. As you can see, I'm still missing one, but that just happened again. It's all related. So what kind of friend do you call when you look like a jack-o'-lantern and you're in high school about to graduate and we just graduated, it was summer. I was gonna go to college, I thought I was gonna be cute, date a freshman guy, and I looked like a jack-o'-lantern. I called Ashley. He was the first person I called, first person I saw, and the first person who came over. And he said, "Dude, you look like a freaking 9-year-old." And it, was accurate and just what you would expect him to say, because he was never like, let's cry about it. He was like, F this. I don't want to swear on the news, but I'm editing everything I'm saying right now. But the fact that that's who I would call and who I wouldn't be embarrassed around with jack-o'-lantern teeth is also the reason he had that way of bringing lightness to dark. And that's what he did for so many of us. He was raucous and lively and a partier and just like the life of the party, the one that rallies everybody together. And definitely, not someone I thought was going to pass away so young, and it's really a tragedy. But I hope I gave you like a glimpse into what a great and loyal and funny, hilarious friend he was.
Thank you.
Good job.
So my name's Phil. I've known Ashley and Kieran. We met in 5th grade, and when I first came to Lafayette, they were my first friends. They really made it not so weird being the new kid, and I'm forever grateful that they were my friends, and still are. Ashley loved to laugh. He loved to joke. Like Heather was saying, he would rib you, and we'd rib him back. But he wouldn't he wasn't too like self-absorbed about it. He'd turn it on himself. He'd make fun of himself too, and he loved people to have a good time. And if you ever were looking for him, like in a party or a house or something, you just follow the sounds of just laughter and his cackling, and you'd eventually find him just surrounded by people he probably didn't even know, and that were now his new friends. Like he just made friends so easy. Obviously, he's very smart. I mean, he had a quick wit. You had to be on your toes around him. If you made one little move wrong, he'd be on you, and he'd give you a hard time about it. But it was all in fun. So he definitely kept you sharp. Obviously, we're here because he did a very noble and brave thing. But he was always, I thought back, and he was always brave. He was always the guy who would do something he hadn't done before, or wanted to, or would talk to people he didn't know, or just to try a new experience. Things that maybe people, like I definitely wouldn't, or I'd be very nervous to do. It just came naturally to him. But obviously, so anyways, about his bravery, okay, I'll tell you a story. It'll put it into context. In middle school, we played baseball, and they made teams, and it was for PE, so everybody played, and he had this tiny little glove. It had to have been from when he was a little kid, and it was comically small, and it was like a glorified oven mitt almost. It was very small. So I was always worried. I said, like, do you want to use a different glove, or that you can borrow mine, or borrow somebody else's? Because I was worried. He was going against the grain, and in middle school, you want to fit in. You don't want to be the guy who's doing something a little bit different. You're kind of, at least for me. But the next thing you know, I said, you can borrow my glove, and he just said, oh no, I catch everything with this thing. Nothing gets by me. Oh no, it's the best. So I said, all right. And then next thing you know, they named the teams, and they actually named the team Ashley's Glove because everybody loved it. And he was just such a charismatic guy, and he's running around with this little glove making all the plays. So it kind of just shows that he was willing to do. It didn't matter what other people would think. He would do what he wanted to, and what made him happy. And that brings me to why we're here today. And I mean, certain tasks or jobs, you accept a certain risk, like if you're a soldier or a police officer or a fireman or something like that. And being a crossing guard really shouldn't be one of those, but if you think about it, it kind of is. You've got cars zipping by and, kids, and it's a frantic scene. But he wasn't ordinary to us, but if you think about it, he was an ordinary man who when the situation arose, he did something extraordinary. And he touched my life, he touched all our lives, and it's good that in his final act he was able to touch another family and a community and a school and really show them that he cared. He was willing to put himself in harm's way for what is a complete stranger, and I'll forever be proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kieran, Heather, and Phil, for sharing your stories about Ashley with us. This is the end of our formal program, but we have refreshments, and this is the time that the family hopes to spend with you, so please take the time to meet with them and also view the plaque. Gloria and Fabio tell me that any day and every day was a reason for Ashley to celebrate. So it was a celly here and a celly here. A celly for a warm day, a celly for Christmas, and a celly for New Year's. Well, today is our celly for Ashley, so let's celly him together. Thank you all for coming.
I'm Mary Kay Drennan's friend. She couldn't be here tonight, so I would miss her. I wish I knew your son. You want to see Matt? Hi, Gloria.
We're from India. We are Daphne's friend. Daphne's the friend of ours. Daphne's friend? Yeah. Yes, they're visiting from India. They're visiting from India. So I found out about it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your
I'm glad. Yeah. I got you
I saw you over there, Doctor. I'm good. Yourself? How you been?
Hello, Mr. Diaz.
Hi, I'm Lindy. I'm my guest.
What have you been up to? Still doing the same old?
I'm Lafayette. I'm seeing a lot of here.
Right. Oh, yeah. We love you. Something's going to come out. It's going to keep people working. Real long-term
He loves
contracts
round
out
table
there.
pizza. We might have to hold him back, yeah. He loves round table
Avalon.
What's the boy up to?
You were at the wedding.
Matt. Matt is in Iceland, and he was the manager of 2 fish ponds in Iceland. He was always a fisherman, he loves it. There he goes. Yeah. He does, and he's a little concerned about Chris. She's Norwegian, and coming back. He went to graduate school in Norway. He's Norwegian fish companies offered him a job. He said, hey, it's a nice thing. We got a couple of plants that needed to jump around. Crazy, huh? So tomorrow, we're getting on a flight tomorrow, that's it. Yeah. Just how much time you need? Yeah, I'm still working a bit. This is retired for a while. She's doing pretty well.
You know what I did?